Alright, adventurers, gather round. Have you ever been deep in the woods? I mean really deep, the kind of place where the trees are ancient giants, and the silence is so thick, you can almost hear your own heartbeat. Suddenly a twig snaps, your head whips around. Was it just a deer? Or maybe, just maybe it was something else. Something bigger. Something legendary. We're talking about the one, the only, Bigfoot. That elusive, hairy hominid that roams the vast wildernesses of North America.
Things you only talk about at the back of the cave.
It's a mystery that has captivated us for generations, a true icon of the unknown. Imagine a creature, part ape, part human, standing over 7 feet tall, covered in shaggy fur, leaving massive footprints in its wake. Is it a relic of our ancient past, a missing link, or just a very clever trick of the light and our imaginations? The thrill of the chase is irresistible, isn't it? So buckle up, truth seekers. We're about to embark on a journey into the heart of the Bigfoot legend. Let's dive into the mystery and see if we can unravel the secrets of this incredible, legendary beast. Now, this whole Bigfoot craze isn't exactly new. Indigenous cultures across North America have tales stretching back centuries. Stories of giant, hairy, man-like beings roaming the forests and mountains. These weren't just boogeymen to scare the kids. These were respected, sometimes feared, figures in their folklore. They had many names: Sasquatch, Wendigo, Bookwoos, and many others. These ancient stories often describe creatures with similar characteristics. They are typically depicted as large, powerful, and deeply connected to the natural world. Some tribes viewed them as guardians of the forest. Others saw them as more mischievous or even dangerous spirits. What's fascinating to me is the consistency. Across different languages, different cultures, separated by vast distances, you find these recurring themes of a large, bipedal, ape-like creature. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Were these all just coincidences? Or were people describing something they had genuinely encountered? These legends weren't born in a vacuum. They emerged from a deep understanding and respect for the wilderness. These stories are more than just myths. They are cultural echoes, whispers from a time when the line between our world and the wild was much, much thinner. Fast forward from those ancient whispers to the 20th century. Suddenly, Bigfoot wasn't just a figure in tribal lore. He or she started making headlines. The term Bigfoot itself was actually coined in 1958. This happened after a bulldozer operator named Jerry Crew found a series of enormous human-like footprints. These were discovered around his construction site in Bluff Creek, California. He made plaster casts of these prints, and a local newspaper columnist, Andrew Genzoli, playfully dubbed the mysterious creature Bigfoot, and boy did that name stick. It captured the public imagination like wildfire. This Bluff Creek incident really lit the fuse. Suddenly, Bigfoot was front-page news. People started coming forward with their own stories, their own encounters. The 1950s and 60s became a golden age for Bigfoot sightings. Loggers, hunters, hikers, ordinary folks spending time in the wilderness began reporting strange encounters. They described seeing towering hairy figures darting through the trees. They found more massive footprints, too big to be a bear, too human-like to be anything else they knew. The mystery deepened and the legend grew. The modern Sasquatch had truly arrived. Alright, if there's one piece of Bigfoot evidence everyone knows, it's the Patterson-Gimlin film. This is the holy grail for many Bigfoot believers. And for skeptics, well, it's the most debated piece of footage out there. We're talking about that shaky 16mm film shot in 1967. It was filmed in that same Bluff Creek area of Northern California. Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin, two amateur Bigfoot hunters, claimed they stumbled upon a female Sasquatch. And they got it on camera. The film itself is less than a minute long. It shows a tall, dark, hairy figure walking away from the camera. It strides across a sandbar, glances back once, and then disappears into the trees. The creature, affectionately nicknamed Patty by enthusiasts, moves with a distinct fluid gait. Its arms swing. Its muscles seem to ripple under its fur. For believers, this was it. Undeniable proof. A living, breathing Sasquatch captured on film. Of course, the skeptics pounced immediately. Was it a man in a suit? That's the big question. The truth, like Patty herself, remains frustratingly elusive, always just out of reach, disappearing into the trees. Close Encounters of the Hairy Kind, Tales from the Tree Line. Beyond the famous Patterson-Gimlin film, there are literally thousands of reported Bigfoot sightings. These aren't just fleeting glimpses, mind you. Some stories are incredibly detailed, downright chilling accounts of close encounters. One of the earliest and most dramatic is the Ape Canyon incident from 1924. This took place near Mount St. Helens in Washington state. A group of miners claimed they were attacked in their cabin, not by bears, not by wolves, but by several large, ape-like creatures. They said these ape men threw boulders at their cabin all night long. Imagine that, huddled in a tiny cabin deep in the wilderness. Strange, powerful creatures trying to break in. The miners were terrified, as you can imagine. They fired their rifles, trying to scare them off. The next day they fled, leaving their claim behind. They never went back. Skeptics suggest it might have been a prank by other prospectors, or maybe an encounter with bears exaggerated by fear. But the miners stuck to their story. Whispers on the wind, auditory encounters and strange sounds. It's not all about what you see, folks. Sometimes the most compelling evidence is what you imagine. Being out in the wilderness, miles from civilization. The sun sets and the forest comes alive with sound, but then, you hear something new, something that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. A long, mournful howl that doesn't sound like any known animal, or maybe a series of powerful rhythmic wood knocks, like someone striking a massive tree trunk with a baseball bat. These are the kinds of auditory encounters that Bigfoot researchers get really excited about. These strange vocalizations are a cornerstone of Bigfoot lore. Witnesses often describe blood-curdling screams, guttural roars, whistles, and even complex language like chattering. Some of these have been recorded, famously the Sierra Sounds from the 1970s. These recordings captured a range of bizarre noises that, to this day, haven't been definitively identified as belonging to any known animal. Are they Bigfoot, or something else entirely? Primate vocalizations can be incredibly varied and complex. The science of Sasquatch, analyzing the evidence. Alright, let's get down to brass tacks, or, in this case, plaster casts and hair samples. Beyond the sightings and sounds, what about tangible evidence? The most common type of physical evidence, as we've discussed, is footprints. Thousands of them have been found, cast, and analyzed. Some are incredibly detailed, showing dermal ridges like fingerprints on your feet, and features that scientists say are hard to fake. They suggest a creature with a flexible, human-like foot, but much, much larger. Then there's the hunt for biological evidence: hair, scat, and even blood or tissue samples. Over the years, many mysterious hair samples have been collected from areas with Bigfoot activity. These are sent off to labs for analysis. Sometimes they turn out to be bear, deer, or other known animals, but occasionally the results come back inconclusive. Or, as some researchers claim, they show characteristics that don't match any known North American mammal. The debate over DNA evidence is particularly heated. Skeptics' Corner. Debunking the giant. Now, it wouldn't be a proper investigation if we didn't talk to the skeptics, right? And believe me, there are plenty of them. For every Bigfoot believer, there's someone ready to explain why it's all just a myth, a misunderstanding, or an outright hoax. And they make some pretty good points, you have to admit. The biggest one? After all these years, all these sightings, why don't we have a body? Or at least an undeniable high-quality photograph or video that silences all doubt? Skeptics often point to misidentification as a major factor. Think about it. You're in the woods, maybe it's dusk, you're a little spooked, you see a dark shape. Could it be a bear standing on its hind legs? A large moose seen from an odd angle? Or even just a tree stump that your mind plays tricks on? Our brains are wired to see patterns, to recognize human-like forms. It's easy to see how an ordinary animal or object could be mistaken for something more mysterious, especially when you're already primed to believe in Bigfoot. It's a powerful psychological effect. The adventure continues. Why Bigfoot still captivates us. So after all this, what's the verdict? Is Bigfoot out there, hiding in the shadows? Or is he just a figment of our collective imagination, a modern-day myth? Well, as you might have guessed, I'm not going to give you a simple yes or no. Because the truth is, the mystery itself is what's so captivating. It's the not knowing, the possibility, that keeps us hooked. Bigfoot represents the wild, the untamed, the parts of our world that still hold secrets. And in an age where everything seems to be mapped, measured, and explained, that's incredibly appealing. The legend of Bigfoot endures because it speaks to something deep within us. That sense of wonder, of adventure. The desire to believe that there's more to this world than meets the eye. It's the same spirit that drove ancient explorers to sail uncharted seas, or modern astronauts to reach for the stars. We are by nature curious creatures. We want to peek behind the curtain to solve the puzzle. And Bigfoot is one of the greatest puzzles of them all. It's a story that combines folklore, eyewitness accounts, and a tantalizing sprinkle of scientific mystery. If you had fun, hit the like button and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell to get notified when we upload another video. Stay tuned for more. Your support means the world to us.